In the late 1980s and early 1990s, The Cosby Show was more than just a popular sitcom for millions of people. Culturally, it was significant. Phylicia Rashad had a vital role in its success, portraying the role of Clair Huxtable, a smart and elegant grandma who was hailed as one of the most adored mothers on television. With its comedic and emotional touches, the show revolutionized how African-American families were portrayed. Rashad, who is now 77 years old, is contemplating the hidden truth. She has recently given interviews in which she has revealed previously unknown details about the show's atmosphere, the complex legacy of Bill Cosby, and the pressures to maintain the show's image. Unveiling the hidden world behind the cameras, she extends an invitation to us for the very first time. An era defined by difficulties, devotion, and subtle power. Playing Clair Huxtable is no picnic, as Phylicia put it. Carrying the weight of history in your voice, holding your space with purpose, and walking with a particular elegance are all necessary. She is correct. Actress Phylicia Rashad has become an icon in her own right thanks to her commanding presence, dignified voice, graceful stance, and intense gaze. We must go back to the beginning to comprehend her enduring impact on American culture and the reasons for her veneration by all generations. Music, language, and the belief that art could elevate the human spirit formed a little girl from Texas before acclaim, Broadway ovations, and prime-time celebrity. A formative youth and early existence defined by greatness. Phylicia Ears Allen came into this world in Houston, Texas on June 19, 1948. Her name is Phylicia Rashad. Among her siblings, she came in at number 2, among a very bright and ambitious family. She inherited a love of reading, culture, and the arts from her mother, Vivian Ayers, who is a professor, poet, and playwright who was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. Her orthodontic father, Andrew Arthur Allen, instilled in his daughter a love of learning and a drive for greatness. Despite her parents' divorce when she was young, she benefited from a creative and ambitious upbringing since the ideals they taught her never faded. Even more renowned than her sister, Debbie Allen, was the subsequent generation of Allen dancers and directors. Books, music, and conversations encouraged critical thinking and bold dreaming in their home, which served as a laboratory or sanctuary for expression. Houston in the 1950s and 1960s was, regrettably, not always a hospitable place to Black achievement, unlike in contemporary times. However, the Ayers-Allen family did not back down when confronted with racial inequity. In an effort to get her children away from the bigotry and segregation that pervaded the Jim Crow South, Vivian Ayers sent Phylicia and her siblings to Mexico when she was a teenager. Though it was out of the ordinary, Phylicia's daring decision influenced how she saw the world and herself. Phylicia recognized her talent for performing at a young age. Whether it was performing on stage, dancing, or listening to music, she gave her all. The stage, which she saw as a holy ground where reality and narrative might meet, was where she felt the strongest pull. She dived headfirst into the working world after graduating with magna cum laude honors from Howard University's theater program in 1970. Howard played a significant role in molding her into the person she would eventually become. A crucible for Black excellence, it was more than just a college. Legends were her professors, while cultivating an impressive and captivating stage persona. During her time there, she honed her writing style, became an expert in her field, and established the intellectual rigor that would mark her output for many years. Phylicia honed her acting chops before becoming famous on TV. Dreamgirls Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death and The Wiz were among her early Broadway credits. These weren't her only options, though. Even though there weren't many opportunities for Black performers at the time, she did appear in performances with a more classical bent, including Shakespeare and Greek tragedies. After her third marriage to Ahmed Rashad, an NFL player and sportscaster, in the late 1970s, she consciously decided to take the surname Rashad. Even though they would eventually divorce, the name would come to represent her power, brilliance, grace, and intelligence. She was known for her ability to embody parts that were both emotionally engaging and profoundly human on stage, earning her a reputation as a technically gifted and emotionally present performer. As a Black woman performing on Broadway in an era when many still viewed people of color with distrust, she was, in many respects, ahead of her time. She did more than that. She strode through them with such elegance and power that everyone felt they had no choice but to follow her. Her charisma, not her acting skills, was what set her apart. Her graceful simplicity begged for admiration without being overbearing. A loud voice wasn't necessary for her to be heard. Anyone who heard her speak, be it in a classroom, a rehearsal room, or even on TV, paid attention. Lindy. Her stage presence was perfect for roles that called for an air of wisdom and kindness, such as those involving mothers, teachers, counselors, or spiritual leaders. Her performances always had an air of refinement, if not outright royalty. Her touch brought Grace a sense of comfort and familiarity, as if she were holding something close. She didn't only take as her career progressed, she returned it. She rose to prominence as a lauded theater director in the aughts and aughts. She did credit to August Wilson's intricate plays when she directed them, notably Gem of the Ocean and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. On top of that, she was named Dean of Howard University's Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts upon her return, an epochal turning point. That demonstrated her dedication to fostering the artistic careers of Black artists of the future. In her role as dean, she pushed for students to consider their work in the context of a larger story and a commitment to cultural responsibility. She has been an inspiration to generations of Black performers, and that is saying a lot. Countless pupils have benefited from her guidance and instruction. Some have even found success in the entertainment industries. Her impact in this area is immense. The many honors and recognitions bestowed upon such a distinguished and illustrious career are plain to see. Phylicia has evidence of her genius in the accumulation of awards she has received over her career. With her portrayal as Lena Younger in A Raisin in the Sun, she made history in 2004 as the first Black woman to receive the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play. Others who came after her may learn a lot about self-control, dignity, and emotion from her performance. In 2016, she was honored with the Lucille Lortel Award for Outstanding Lead Actress, among other accolades, including Andando HEPUS Awards, BET Honors, and nominations from the Drama Desk. She began a new phase in her leadership and teaching career in 2021 when she was named Dean of the College of Fine Arts, her alma mater. Phylicia has managed to stay classic in a business that's all about trying new things and being trendy. Recent television and film credits include appearances in Empire and This Is Us, demonstrating her continued acting career. Creed, Soul, and David Makes Man are among these films. Her previous work was characterized by emotional precision, wisdom, and dignity, all of which she applies to each of these. She is significant even when she isn't performing. Many people, particularly Black women, look up to her as an example of achievement and ambition in this era of social media, cultural conversations, and racial reckoning. Her Blackness is unabashed, strongly rooted in her spiritual and cultural roots, and unabashedly intellectual. Phylicia Rashad is famous now for more than her career. She is famous for everything that she stands for. She is a beautiful reminder of the strength of subtlety, poise, and depth in a world when cacophony abound. Many people look up to her, but Black women in particular find an inspiration in her since she exemplifies strength without being harsh, discreet intelligence, and unabashedly beautiful style. She has matured into the type of wise elder that any town would be lucky to have. Someone who has been there, done that, and now serves as an example to others. Hers is more than simply a career. It's a legacy that spans the globe, from Broadway to primetime television, and from Houston to university leadership. Despite the adulation and applause she receives, Phylicia's narrative has another, more complex, contentious side that is intricately linked to a beloved and troubled television show. We will examine what it meant and cost to be the face of a dream based on complicated facts in her position on The Cosby Show, the one that gained her worldwide stardom, before we can completely grasp her legacy. Keep in mind that before Clair Huxtable came into the picture, Phylicia was already quite the force. This contentious Cosby Show had far-reaching effects on her and defined a generation. Although its magnitude was uncertain in the late 1980s, a seismic cultural shift was about to occur in American television. We may thank The Cosby Show for the change. A sitcom based on Bill Cosby's idealized portrayal of a loving, prosperous Black family. What came next, carrying out that plan, was a sensation all around the country. In addition to becoming one of the most watched shows of all time, The Cosby Show changed the way Americans saw black families and contributed significantly to the program's overall popularity. Phylicia Rashad was the driving force behind that revolutionary portrayal, an actress whose portrayal of Clair Huxtable was marked by unparalleled grace, intellect, and emotional depth. But before she played Claire and Thursday night appointment viewing became the norm, The Cosby Show was only a concept, the one that would change the face of television and, by extension, culture for a whole new generation. The original inspiration for The Cosby Show came from Bill Cosby's wish to change the stereotypical negative depictions of black families to a more positive and realistic one based on love, discipline, and ascent to the top. Shows like Good Times and Sanford and Son, which portrayed working-class families, or hyper-stylized dramas like The Brady Bunch, failed to adequately examine class, intelligence, and family dynamics in the 1970s. Despite the series' significant visibility, they seldom featured a black family from an upper-middle-class, professional, secure background. As a successful black man with a bachelor's degree who grew up in a two-parent home, Bill dreamed of a sitcom that would mirror his own experiences. Aspirational yet approachable, the Huxtables would make a great family. In cases where both parents held careers in the legal and medical fields, each child was special, and the jokes came more from a place of love than from any kind of disorder. Many people were skeptical about this idea at first. On NBC, executives weren't sure if viewers, particularly white viewers, would accept a show depicting a prosperous black family that defied media stereotypes. However, Bill Cosby persisted in continuing the show, stating that it should not be based on caricature or slapstick, but on nuance and realism. The cultural behemoth would have its roots in that concept. One of the most important considerations that producers had to make while casting the show was casting the family matriarch, Clair Huxtable, an actress who could rival Bill Cosby's charm without being overshadowed. Someone who could convey strength, refinement, warmth, and wit was required for the part. To be humorous, it was insufficient. It was a challenging role that required the actress to show both compassion and authority. The original script called for the character to be a housewife. That, however, changed following Phylicia's audition. It was impossible to ignore her. Her intelligence shone through, demonstrated poise and self-assurance. How her rhythmic and poised speech transformed the producer's conception of Claire. Reportedly, after watching her audition, Cosby recast her as a lawyer, turning her from a nurturing housewife into an intellectual equal in the Huxtable family. The extensive theatrical training Phylicia possessed enhanced her portrayal. It wasn't as simple as performing for an actual audience. Clair Huxtable was immediately recognizable in her first appearance, and she was playing a type of lady that was unusual to see on television. And September 20, 1984, NBC debuted The Cosby Show. It was so popular that it reached number 3 in the Nielsen ratings by the conclusion of its first season. It topped the charts in its second season and stayed there for 5 years in a row, never before achieved by any television show. Its allure was immediate and pervasive. White viewers witnessed a black family life that contradicted conventional narratives, while black viewers found a reflection of themselves in the Huxtables. It wasn't only the Huxtables. They were just a realistic, approachable family of African-American descent. That the show's ideas were universal while being deeply rooted in a particular culture was its brilliance. Iconic status came to the Huxtable family home. Something about the brownstone, the jazz albums, the sweaters, the dance sequences, and the sincere conversations made it feel comfortable and approachable. Phylicia was irresistible in her role as Clair Huxtable. That TV mom wasn't like others. In that era, she was the go-to TV mother. Despite juggling a successful job as an attorney and a mother, Claire never lost her poise or authority. She wasn't there to provide comic relief or fill a supporting role for her spouse. Her wit, firmness, and talent were on par with Cliff's. Being able to juggle multiple roles, that of partner, parent, professional, disciplinarian, and romantic, was what set Claire apart. There was a lot of spark and mutual regard in her scenes with Bill. Her interactions with the kids, particularly when she gave them love but firm scoldings, went down in television history. What stood out the most, though, was Phylicia's portrayal of Claire as a powerful woman who, rather than using harshness or shouting, commanded respect with an intellectual authority that made every word matter. What she said was true, conveyed a sense of composed power that stuck with those around him. It went beyond mere amusement. Many young black women of the 1980s found it to be a formative experience. Seeing Claire helped them see a side of themselves they hadn't considered before. Ratings weren't the only measure of success for The Cosby Show. It changed the way black families were portrayed in popular culture. The Huxtables broke the mold of the stereotypical dysfunctional black family and presented an alternative, long-suppressed reality. Specifically, Claire's persona pushed back against the archetype of the silent, subservient black woman and the controlling, emotionally aloof mother. She was charming yet resolute, strong yet gentle, and full of love yet unwavering. She played a significant role in reimagining the television portrayal of black womanhood. The Huxtables inspired hope in the hearts of young black viewers across the nation. Going to college felt more doable all of a sudden. Marriage appeared to be a rewarding experience, not a chore. The film depicted parenthood as a path of love and development, not a path of struggle and peril. Thursday nights were special for many households. A moment to bond, share laughter, and shine. Education was another area that the show's impact was felt. The Cosby program's upbeat depictions of college life and constant promotion of black academic achievement led to an influx of students applying to historically black institutions and universities when the program was at its peak. It normalized black achievement rather than making it seem like an aspiration. Phylicia was more than simply a line reader while she wasn't on camera. The tone and message of the play were greatly influenced by her. On set, her professionalism and charisma were legendary. A culture of excellence was helped to preserve by her. Members of the cast have frequently mentioned the close-knit atmosphere she helped create behind the scenes. Her role in shaping Claire's character evolved over the seasons. She kept Claire from ever becoming an afterthought, ensuring she was the show's emotional and intellectual anchor throughout. Bill Cosby may have been the show's originator and star, but Phylicia was its anchor and balancing force. She became a national icon of black professional women and parental wisdom during the 8-season run from 1984 to 1992. She was nominated for an Emmy and won an NAACP Image Award for her performances. Above all else, though, she became a cultural icon who would last for generations. She served as a guiding light, an aunt, a mother, and a teacher to countless people. Decades after the episode aired, its impact on popular culture is still palpable. The Cosby Show has had a profound impact on many other television shows, from comedies like Blackish and The Bernie Mac Show to tragedies like This Is Us. As far as television writing and acting go, Clair Huxtable is still unrivaled. She was complete, flaws and all. That was groundbreaking in and of itself. Her on-screen persona paved the way for innumerable subsequent depictions of black women. The sitcom showed Americans a multidimensional, loving and humorous black family, as well as universally human. Its emotional center, intellectual rock, and moral compass were Phylicia Rashad. She gave millions of people a new perspective on black women for 8 years. Even in this day and age, the dream lives on. Whether she was defending a legal matter in court, having a private moment with her spouse, or delivering a harsh reprimand to one of her children, her genuine charisma, graceful performance made her irreplaceable. It will be more challenging to reveal what happens next in the Cosby Show plot. Bill Cosby's subsequent issue caused people to question the show's values, which impacted her and the rest of the ensemble. The dilemma of shadows. Because of the impact that Phylicia Rashad and the rest of the cast made on the world through The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was a groundbreaking depiction of a loving, stable black family that provided a cultural beacon of black excellence for almost a decade. It sparked a new wave of creativity and revolutionized American television. Regrettably, Bill Cosby, the show's creator and star, was publicly shamed in the years following the show's end, particularly in the middle of 2010, due to a string of accusations and legal disputes. Everyone in the cast, the audience, and society at large had to face the consequences of the show's portrayal of itself after one man's fall from grace. Phylicia Rashad was among the people who were most impacted. Her portrayal of the elegant and sage Clair Huxtable has garnered her admiration for quite some time. Now she was in the middle of a storm that she hadn't caused, and there was no way out. After years of speculation, comedian Hannibal Buress finally went public in 2014 at a stand-up performance in Philadelphia and accused Bill Cosby of being a molester. There was a massive uproar over the comment. In a matter of weeks, sexual assault claims that had been dormant for decades began to surface again, with some cases being refiled and others being rejected or privately resolved. The story's momentum skyrocketed when the media seized it. More than 60 women from different parts of the nation came forward with claims of sexual misconduct, drug usage, etc. More worse charges extending from the early 2000s all the way back to the 1960s. Even to those who had admired him for a long time, the quantity and regularity of the tales were shocking. An event involving Andrea Constand, a former employee of Temple University, led to his criminal charges in Pennsylvania by 2015. He received a sentence of 3 to 10 years in jail after being found guilty on 3 counts of severe indecent assault in 2018. In 2021, the conviction was subsequently reversed due to a procedural error rather than the case's merits. The harm to his character and the history of the show had already been done when the verdict was overturned. As Bill found himself at the center of the legal action, the rest of the Cosby Show cast was swept up in the aftermath. The public's perception of the groundbreaking work of performers like Keisha Knight Pulliam, Sabrina LaBayouf, Tempesty Bledsoe, and Malcolm Jamal Warner has shifted from admiration to skepticism, sadness, and perplexity. The show's syndications were canceled. Some networks, including TV Land and Bounce TV, stopped airing reruns. Money from royalties ran out. All of a sudden, something that had been a representation of cultural diversity and a point of pride for many people was deemed radioactive, and everyone wanted nothing to do with it. Some actors didn't say much at all. Malcolm Jamal Warner was one of many who carefully stepped out, expressing their sadness for the victims and mourning the loss of a legacy that had touched countless lives. "The job we performed, the legacy we left, and the doors we opened," he said in an interview in 2018, "feels overshadowed now." Nonetheless, Phylicia Rashad's reply was the most talked about and investigated. Phylicia's first reaction to the accusations was strong and divisive. She told Showbiz 411 in 2015 to forget about these women in response to the mounting accusations. "A legacy is being shattered right before your eyes. And I believe it's all planned." Stunned, many were. Stunned, many were. Some felt that the victim of sexual assault had been abandoned by a woman who had been revered for her composure and activism for a long time. Her remarks were seen by some as a betrayal, especially considering her position as an inspiration to women, especially black women. As more information became public and Bill was convicted of a crime, Phylicia's unwavering defense of him became a contentious issue. Finally, "A terrible wrong is being righted," she tweeted upon his conviction being overturned in 2021. "An injustice has been rectified." There was an immediate reaction. At Howard University's teachers and students are demanding an explanation from her since she was just named Dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts. There were many who thought her remarks were disrespectful to survivors and would have a negative impact on the youth she was mentoring. "I completely endorse survivors of sexual assault coming forward." She clarified her position within days. "It was absolutely not my intention for my post to be disrespectful to their reality." A statement was also issued by Howard University, which reiterated its dedication to the survivors. There was more to the event surrounding The Cosby Show than simply a celebrity scandal, even if no disciplinary action was taken. The cultural memory crumbled. The Huxtables had been a symbol of promise, advancement, and optimism for many years. When the media tended to present Black life in a stereotypical light, they provided much-needed relief. Cognitive dissonance was now a problem for the audience. How could a man who was allegedly capable of such evil create a program that had such profound meaning and helped countless people? For the other actors, what did that imply? His off-screen actions were unknown to many of them. Things were already complicated for Phylicia. She had served as the show's guiding light. They put their faith in her because of this. Many took her defense of Bill Cosby as an act of loyalty, but others saw it as a rejection of responsibility, the truth, and the suffering she had endured. Because of this, many of her devoted fans were divided. Is it possible to divorce the artist from their work? If the actress portraying Clair Huxtable didn't appear affected by other people's pain, would she still be a strong symbol? There is still no clear solution because the question is difficult to address. Phylicia has mostly avoided the limelight since the dispute peaked. Many current and former Howard students still hold her in high esteem for the leadership, mentoring, and campus presence she brought to the position. Even nevertheless, whenever she makes an appearance in interviews or on public panels, questions regarding Bill Cosby are sure to arise, casting a shadow over her appearances. Commentaries about her previous statements accompany even her most recent acting parts in films like Creed and television series like This Is Us. She deserves respect for not doubling down like other famous people. Although it did not go so far as to recant her statement, her 2021 apologies did recognize the pain it had caused. She has maintained her usual grace, but now she is more reserved, maybe coming to terms with the fact that people's opinions are no longer set in stone. In subtler ways, the scandal has hampered the careers of other cast members. Some have become more distant. Some have been faithful but quiet. Very few disagree on a single point. The scandal surrounding The Cosby Show has prompted a more in-depth and distressing discussion about power, harm, and legacy, but it has not diminished the show's impact on millions of viewers. The relevance of The Cosby Show has been a topic of debate among historians, cultural critics, and fans for some time now. Despite the show's negative effects on Black representation, education, and identity, some contend that the actions of a single individual cannot erase such effects. Some think it's cruel to keep showing it because it reminds people of the concealed truth and is disrespectful to the survivors. This discussion isn't exclusive to the Cosby program. Discussions regarding problematic figures in literature, music, and film are echoed in this. The show's unique place in Black cultural history, however, makes the stakes seem larger. Many people can believe both that The Cosby Show was an important and groundbreaking piece of art and that its creator caused permanent damage. Those who saw themselves reflected in the Huxtables as children find that complexity both painful and essential. Phylicia Rashad is still a legend in many ways. She has an extensive body of work. Her influence will last. Even if she may be more reserved now, she is still teaching, acting, and speaking. Her reputation has taken a noticeable hit due to the scandal involving The Cosby Show. A mixture of respect, disappointment, empathy, and criticism has emerged from what was formerly nearly unanimous adulation. Clair Huxtable is a much more complex person now. She is a strong lady who has seen an empire come and go, supported an unjust man, and stands by her ideas no matter how controversial they are. Is Phylicia Rashad's tale something you can relate to? Post a comment telling us. Much obliged for your time. Press the play button on the video you're seeing to watch more riveting content. If you would like to be notified whenever a new video is uploaded, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon.